After being the first player to clear the game with hellish difficulty, our gamer MC by Chi is reborn into his level 1 secondary account, which spawned him in a level 30 instant dungeon in the game. Now he has to face many powerful enemies and escape from here. Guys, that concludes the intro, and let's begin.
There is a scroll that says finally, the king who brought the 8 nations together has become the most powerful. A message tells the gamer how proud they are to be the first person to sit on the throne. His rewards have been revealed, but there are certain rules about how to use them. The man is proud of what he has done and says that the king lives up to his name. Young Master Huaxin joins the live stream to congratulate the gamer. The young master makes fun of the gamer, calling him stupid and saying that he's just an ant trying to be a king. The master tells the gamer that his sin can't be forgiven and sentences him to death. A man in his 20s with serious wounds is hurting heavily inside and needs immediate first aid. He needs CPR because his heart rate is dropping. The 20-year-old boy was given CPR 3 times. The hurt boy is asking where he is and what is going on around him, while a figure with a big eye is trying to figure out who it is, and asked him if he was in hell or on top of the bodies. One of the people under the guy wonders why he's in hell since he didn't do anything wrong in the last life. The guy tries to deal with things even though he is in so much pain in his head that it feels like it is being torn apart. He suddenly remembers that his name is Bai Chi and that he streams games. The man starts to talk more about himself, saying that he wasn't well known at first but that his fan base grew quickly after he live streamed a game called the Open World Action RPG game. The story takes place in a Western fantasy world set in the Middle Ages, where an advanced alien ship crashes, combining technology from the past with technology from the future. Players also really like the game's story, graphics, and worlds that aren't like any other. A lot of people don't play because it's too hard, so they watch live streams instead. Bai also says that he liked the huge amount of traffic he got because of his skills, which made the game very exciting. Bai was slowly making his way to the top of the mountain when he was killed for no apparent reason. There is a note on the board that says the player has died, but they are still alive. As if to ask if they've gotten over its effects, it hints at rebirth. Bai listened to the voice and then thought about whether it was a voice he knew. The boy asks if it was the voice assistant for the game platform after reading another note that says each gamer made their own world. It says again that when he died, a special reward happened. Bai was reborn into the world of the Throne of Souls. Bai was shocked to be born in the Throne of Souls, but he saw it as a special gift that would give him a chance to be born again even after he died. Bai, meanwhile, is confused about why he wasn't born into a world full of pretty girls and plenty of money, like in the love game. Bai dreams of being with bikini-clad girls and complains about being reborn in such a horrible place. There's also a note that says the key of rebirth is a unique reward for the Throne of Souls that you can't get in any other game. Bai does not see it as a chance, but as a bad thing, which is a feeling he knows from playing games in the past. Bai tells him that the game isn't easy and asks the young master what he wants him to do. The young master tells Bai to keep working hard and get back on the Throne of Souls. The teacher told Bai that as king, he would get a better reward, the key to traveling through time. He could then move around in the game world and even go back to the real world if he wanted to. When Bai heard it, he became interested and asked the master why he hadn't given him this reward before. Bai wants the reward but knows he can't get it because of the rebirth protocol. There is no way to keep reborn, and anyone, even a street dog, could end his life here. Even if this is true, the young master says, Bai is not completely stupid because under Bai's account on the Game Plus World platform, there are 100 different types of runs, all of which have full achievements. The young master says that Bai can complete different tasks and reach different goals throughout the 100 runs, gaining new skills and gear from each level. The news shocked Bai and made him even more interested. He says that he can now feel the compass taking him in the right direction. Bai says that he likes all of them, but he doesn't focus on his popular live streams. Bai is excited about the idea of getting those skills and tools, but his shock level goes through the roof when the master says he might even become a helpless civilian. Being a civilian seems safer to Bai because he thinks he can stay away from the most dangerous bosses. However, he knows that being a civilian comes with fatal risks, which makes it less appealing. Bai feels like the civilian choice was only there to tease him and make him follow the king's path. In the end, Bai is wary of being tricked because he has been a civilian for 20 years. He has already been born again, so he can't do the same things that happened in the past. Bai's last question is about how long you have to become king and what rules you have to follow. He tells him there aren't any and asks Bai if he's ready to play the part. Once Bai is ready, he signs the contract, and a note appears announcing his return to the Throne of Souls. After that, a shaky figure called out to Bai while hanging upside down, which scared him. Someone who is shaking asks if Bai is dead because they think he will start to smell bad, but Bai is still alive. The figure wonders if Bai was reborn, but since they're still alive, it doesn't matter. They tell Bai to find a way to descend before the animals go back to the cave because they need to leave. We can see the figure's face. It's Gray, the Princess Guard Elf Mage at level 21. Another figure with a tiger's head talks to Gray and tells her that she is Princess Mina's royal guard and needs Bai's help. The figure with the tiger's head also remembers a recent time when a boy cried for his parents. Princess Guard Human Warrior House wonders how they got there if not for the traitors who set them up. Daegu, the tiger-headed figure that turned out out to be the Princess Guard cat beast, doesn't agree with Princess Mina or the royal guards. He thinks they should just give up and die because he's tired of everything. Princess Mina finally shows up. She is the human priestess of the Kingdom of Stars. They're not non-player characters, Bai tells her, and she asks for a meeting when she gets there. Bai finds it scary to think that this might not have been the first place where beginners were born. He thinks about how he would have died soon after showing up if he had chosen the path of a normal person. Bai Chi comes out of the Wailing Cave and says that it is really hard and shocking, just like he thought it would be. The chapter ends with the idea that rebirth is both an end and a beginning, and that Bai starts at a dead end on his way to becoming king. The player didn't understand how the main storyline in the game fit together. It starts in Enka Village, but it should really start with being born in Enka Village at levels 1 through 10. Burnt Jungle is the second part, and it has levels 10 through 20. Players complete quests and start a forced storyline. Then, between levels 20 and 30, they are caught in Wailing Cave and told to free Princess Mina. Bai, the player, is now focusing on picking a first job so that he can plan his future strategies, with escape being very important. Bai starts the first profession choice, a bright light flashes, and the system confirms that it was started. Bai can now choose what they want to do for a living. You can choose from different classes: Brave Warrior for close combat, Wood Mage for long-range combat, Assassin for both, and Elemental for a range of options in close combat. Another choice, Outcast, is shown, looked down upon, and made fun of. It starts with rags and wooden sticks and doesn't have any special abilities or extra armor. Bai stays with the Outcast profession and talks about how it changes early game survival and how you play. Later, specialization is limited by the framework of the main profession. Bai talks about Outcast's hardest survival mode and a hidden NPC in the middle of the game who can reset attributes and let you switch professions at any time. Bai stresses Outcast's dependability, even though it's hard, and points out a major hidden feature: you can get all professional achievements by switching between characters without limits, so you don't have to play through it more than once. Bai used the Outcast profession to become the first player to finish the game and get all the achievements. This let the system know what he was up to. The main quests were changed so that you now have to stay alive and make it out of the Wailing Cave to get 1 point. The system shows that 25% of the items are in the warehouse of the current game account, and the rest are unlocked in a new account that has 25% of the items' usage rights. Survival and getting away are the most important things to Bai. Hanging figures tell him to untie a rope that is attached to a big stone so that they can get away. Bai, who is confused by the ropes, cuts them loose. All of the figures that were hanging come down, including Princess Mina, who looks like she passed out. As they talk, all of a sudden, a monster with a skull on its head appears, scaring everyone. Modik, Bloodaxe, the monster with the skull on top of its head, says that he is the leader of the Plague Beast clan. They should stay in the storage room, he tells them, because they are now his food. When Modik howls, it means an attack, and the beast does attack all of them. After weighing the risks, Bai decides not to fight to stay alive. He is instead going to go into the cave by himself to get the account unlock reward. Bai thinks that staying alive is the most important thing, and he will decide if he needs to save them or not. Before he cuts the rope, Bai realizes that everything he thought was real was just in his head. He decides to put his own safety first and leaves the area by himself, not helping Princess Mina and her group. One of the hanging figures says that he can't survive because he doesn't agree with Bai's choice. Bai says that they will soon understand what he means as the time gets closer. Bai faces a level 5 Plague Beast Cub, but as an outcast at level 1, he has no chance and will die. Bai is attacked by Plague Beast Cub. He knows that the battle is coming, even if he doesn't choose to save the girl, and that it might be hard to beat the level 5 monster. Bai falls down and avoids the monster's attack, but he still thinks it's possible to fight it. The hanging figures are surprised when Bai dodges again, and they say it was just luck. Daegu likes how Bai moves, but Bai doesn't care because he just wants to die. Bai says that his quick reflexes and battle experience came from fighting a lot, even though he doesn't have any professional equipment attributes that give him bonuses. The monster throws a bomb because it thinks Bai is dead, but Bai surprises everyone by coming out of the flames and attacking the monster, taking away some of its life. Bai Chi kept attacking the monster and taking away its health until Bai's last attack killed it. Princess Mina's group is shocked when they realize how little they thought Bai was. They do say, though, that killing the monster won't make it more likely for him to live. Bai thinks he killed the monster by using his knowledge and experience, but he knows that his stats and weapons aren't very strong. Chi thinks it doesn't matter because he chose to be different and should get used to playing in a different way. It shows that player Bai Chi beat a level 5 Plague Beast Cub and got 100 spirit points, 2 golden coins, a weapon, and the ability to attack with his bare hands. When Bai looks at his panel, he sees that it is lacking. He still has 900 spirit points left to spend on upgrades. Getting rid of monsters isn't working for him right now. now. Bai's main goal is to be safe and get out of the cave quickly. The figures hanging from the ceiling are asking for help in a roundabout way, implying that more people would make it easier to fight the monsters. When Princess Mina wakes up, she tells Gray not to help anymore and says that it's okay to die if you can't use your power to get out of trouble. Princess Mina was new to Gray, so he asked him when he woke up. Princess Mina tells Bai that being careful is very important because the line between life and death is very thin, even if you are sure of yourself. After hearing what Princess Mina said, Bai decides to not tell anyone about his plans. He thinks the princess won't believe him even if he says he'll come back and save her. Princess and her friends are upset, so they tell House to stop cursing Bai and use his energy to find a solution. Bai tells Princess that the story of the original game says they'll find a way to get away on their own even if he doesn't. In spite of that, he will miss out on a few Princess Mina-related achievements if he doesn't help. The reward Bai will get for getting them to safety depends on how easily he can get to the exit. He says over and over that his survival is more important than having allies. With it being the last dungeon in the first chapter, it's full of hidden gems. Bai checks out every part of the cave and learns all of its secrets. Bai has to pick that path and save a key character so that he faces the fewest enemies with the lowest levels. As Bai hides in the corner, he sees a monster come back with a big hammer. Voices coming from a barrel tell Bai it's not a plague beast and invite him to come closer. A voice from the barrel tells Bai that he must be wondering how a jar can talk. Bai stays quiet. Someone who goes into the cave to look for treasure is inside the barrel. They hid in the jar to avoid the plague beasts, but bad magic sealed the lid on them, so they couldn't get out. When Bai approaches the jar, the person inside tells him to break it to let them out. They tell Bai that there aren't any plague beasts nearby and that breaking the jar won't draw any attention to herself. Bai opens the jar and sees Lucci inside. Lucci doesn't understand why Bai left level 1, but he knows he owes Bai a favor. People who are not humans, like Lucci, say that he can do whatever is asked of him. Bai tells Lucci that his friend has been captured by the plague beasts in the cave and that he is too weak to save them himself. Lucci knew what was being asked, but he thought Bai was brave but not smart enough. Bai is lucky to have met Lucci. Bai is sure that she will be safe with Lucci, so the two of them move forward together. As they moved forward, an adult level 18 plague beast saw them and attacked. The beast's life is cut in half when Lucci attacks it with a huge sword after smelling it. Being stuck in the jar makes Mr. Lucci angry, so he quickly kills the beast by cutting off its head. Bai is shocked by how well Lucci fought. Lucci wants to know how he got into the cave to look for treasures without any skills. Bai and Lucci are still moving together. When they get to a certain spot, Bai says he heard his friend's voice. Bai is not sure if his friend can stay alive, so he asks Mr. Lucci for help. Lucci says it's easy with confidence and then uses his fastest method to push Bai off the cliff. When Bai jumps off the cliff, Lucci laughs at him and acts like he didn't mean to do it. Lucci says he can't help but kick someone who is standing on the edge of a cliff. It's an old habit. Lucci knows he could refuse because he knows Bai was reborn and it's against the law for people like that to be caught. Bai asks Lucci from below how he knew he was reborn, but Lucci acts like he doesn't know and doesn't understand. When Bai fell from the high place, Lucci was shocked, but he is still alive. Bai is hurt but still alive. He says that he would not have lived if he had jumped, but Mr. Lucci's kick saved him. Despite not being able to die, Bai knows how painful his wounds are. He knows that the tools below could be useful. The system says that one blood spirit jar and one glowing stone fragment have been found. Lucci moves away because he thinks reborn people are strange. He thinks it was a mistake that he didn't stab Bai from behind with a sword, but Lucci thinks Bai is stuck in the abyss and says Bai will die soon or later. Lucci is shown to be a scary NPC who likes to kick players off of cliffs in the original game. Bai figures out that this scene isn't from Throne of Souls and asks the system what reborn means. When Bai drinks, he feels normal again. The system says that most of the information is locked, but it does say that reborn refers to people who come back from the dead for unknown reasons. Bai doesn't understand why the information setting is locked. He thinks it must be important and that information won't be given away for free. Bai knows that the identity being punished upon discovery is tricky, so he decides to be careful with it so that no one dies unexpectedly. It's not a problem for Bai. Even though he doesn't see any plague beasts behind him, he stays alert because he thinks the terrain is sneaky. The real danger has just begun. Bai stands in front of the Wailing Cave, which is hidden in the Lost Ruins, but it's still not clear what level it is. The action-adventure game The Throne of the Souls takes place in an open world, and the story and plot development are often broken up. People who want to know what's going on in this world have to find clues from NPCs, monsters, bosses, ruins, and other places. Bai already knows everything about this world except for a few new things she doesn't know yet because she has finished all the levels and earned all the achievements. There is a huge crystal called the World of the Souls in the middle of this made-up world called Pascalo. All species live together in peace because of its brightness and energy. The world was full of life until one day. day. It was the day that the Deep Void unmanned advanced ship crashed into Earth. It shocked people all over the world. When the alien spaceship hit the ground right where the world of the soul stood, it instantly tore apart. Pascalo was getting close to dying, but it didn't die completely. Instead, it broke apart, creating new species and civilizations. This is one of the abandoned ruins from the underground civilization, where Bai is now. Below the Wailing Cave is a mysterious opening in the ground for a river. The only thing that had to be done was to get to an exit alive. This would let Bai skip class. The Plague Beast clan doesn't guard this path, but it has a much higher death rate than the main path because you have to carefully figure out where the platforms sticking out from the rock wall are. When Bai sees a place with a deep hole and sharp things, she knows that one wrong move could kill her. After that, Bai jumps, used to dying a lot in order to gain experience. Bai doesn't have any trouble getting to the bottom of the abyss. He only needs to remember that the metal platforms get narrower as he gets closer to the bottom, so he can't make as many mistakes. Even though he knows exactly where all the platforms are, he needs to be careful. Bai carefully balances as he moves downward, but he almost falls when he steps on something. He thinks that he almost fell even though he was being more careful as he stands there. Someone from behind him told him that he should almost be at the bottom while he was talking to himself. Bai turns around to attack the person who is behind him all of a sudden. The figure jumps, though, and avoids Bai's attack while Bai asks him who he is. At level 30, Harvey, a human elemental ranger, talks about Bai's bad mood and asks him in a funny way if he scared him by appearing behind him out of nowhere. Harvey laughs and says, "I stabbed you in the heart, which caught you off guard." Bai is angry and asks him why he suddenly showed up behind him. Some people think that Harvey came out of the cave where he was collecting props, which makes people wonder if Harvey also had a rebirth. Harvey says that Bai's response was slow, but he doesn't blame her. He compares their lives and says that he was reborn directly as a level 28 elemental ranger, while Bai thinks that he was reborn into the body of an unlucky level 1 outcast. Harvey yells at Bai, telling him that he doesn't see any reason to kill a minor character like him. Bai, who was hurt in the attack, gets on his knees and asks why he was singled out even though he never hurt Harvey. He stresses that they are both backwards and asks them to help each other. Harvey smiles at Bai and gently pokes him. He then says that even though everyone thinks of regressors as enemies, their biggest enemies are often other regressors. Harvey thought Bai had special skills because he knew the path so well, but it turned out Bai didn't know very much about basic things. Harvey feels bad that Bai wasted his one chance to start over. Bai hits Harvey with his stick made of wood, but it breaks. Harvey says that Bai's lack of understanding is normal for a level 1 outcast and that it's not worth his time to keep helping him. Harvey says that while Bai shows him the way, he won't kill Bai himself. Harvey says that he is responsible for Bai's fate. He says that he won't mind if Bai gets revenge if Bai lives. Bai is tired and asks the system about all of these things that are happening. He also asks about other important things that were hidden. The system shows that information isn't being hidden on purpose. Bai has to find out the world's hidden secrets on his own. Because of unusual events, Bai has found out 3 previously unknown facts about regressors. In this world, regressors are hated by everyone because they are seen as bad heretics. Their tense relationship with other species is still not fully understood, as it is characterized by constant competition and conflict. It looks like 2 people are fighting, and the system says that Bai can get both huge soul points and blood soul points. A bunch of monsters appear, showing that regressors are people who have been reborn into this world and can live in more than one body. The reason for this event is still a mystery. The system tells you more about regressors. They randomly respawn as different kinds of creatures, and a high-level regenerator can spot a low-level regressor with just a glance. The first job for each regressor has different information about this world besides Outcast. Outcast shows up in the frame, and the system says that outcasts can learn new things about other jobs by switching jobs. Bai passes out from exhaustion, wondering why the system is leaking information at this time and recognizing the difficulties of living in the Throne of Souls world. But Bai is able to hold on and realize what's going on. Bai holds on tight so she doesn't fall. Bai Chi takes advantage of the chance to be born again, even though he is in a dangerous place deep in the cave. It hurts Bai a lot, but he tends to deal with it. Bai falls and hits the ground, which is bad. His life also gets shorter after he falls. Still, Bai laughs and says he won the bet because the exit was only 10 meters away and all he had to do was crawl. Bai is aware of the smell and sound he is sensing. All of a sudden, a level 25 Wigglytooth fusion beast appears in front of Bai. Bai was shocked when another monster showed up because he hadn't seen any before. He couldn't believe it when Wigglytooth Fusion Beast came up behind Bai Chi. The monster's eye-shaped orbs burst, and Chi tells it to act quickly, taking advantage of its slow start to crawl quickly towards the exit. When those balls hit Chi, he tells him to stay away because they will change into their fast-moving second form. Bai expresses confusion, saying that it shouldn't be there in the middle of all the confusing events. Bai thinks about Harvey's plans and wonders if he set the monsters free on purpose to catch him. Bai gets lost while thinking about Harvey, and those eyeballs come around him. Bai says that the only thing that matters right now is death. death. They come at Bai to attack him with those eyes. Bai tells them not to underestimate him by saying that he has been in many battles before. Bai hits the ground. When Chi comes into contact with strong acid corrosion, it can easily kill almost any living thing. Bai is in a lot of pain, but he doesn't give up because he needs to keep going to stay alive. Some of Chi's clothes protect him, but the attacker, the Wigglytooth fusion beast, gets its skin directly hit, which kills it. Chi's goal is to get to the exit, but he is in a lot of pain and can't move very well. Chi moves forward slowly, thinking about his past life. He doesn't want to live the same life again. Bai thinks about the chances he didn't take because he was born poor in the mountains. He thinks he could have made his future better if he had gone to high school, but leaving home crushed those hopes. Bai can be seen taking a bus away from his mom and his house. He left his place of residence and went to work at a restaurant, where his job was to wash dishes. He gets in trouble with the restaurant owner for taking too long to wash the plates. He works during the day and studies at night by torch until his boss tells him off. Bai never gave up hope that he would have a great future. He finally got into the university of his dreams, but his mother was told she had a disease that would kill her. Bai sits there in the rain and thinks about his sick mother. Bai dropped everything to help his mother, but he couldn't save her. He even brought food to people. People would scold him for being late when he delivered food, even when it rained. Although he only worked part-time, he used to live stream games, and one game made him very popular. He died just as he was about to reach his peak, which was sad. With all of this in mind, Bai was still on his way out of the cave. Bai goes down into the dangerous river. Chi keeps his head up and stands up again because he needs to leave. The monsters still attack him because they want him to die. Before becoming king of this world, Bai tells himself he won't die. Bai keeps moving forward even though he is in a lot of pain, and the system shows that he has successfully escaped the wailing cave. Bai had the chance to do what he wanted and got 1 point. The system gave him the option of randomly unlocking a new game account and the 25% of usage rights that came with it, or it would let him use 25% of the items in his old game account. While being attacked by the Wigglytooth fusion beast, Bai picked out 25% of the items in her old game account's inventory that she could use. A green light came on as soon as he made up his mind. Bai used Holy Bloodiness Essence, a god-level consumable that replaces all lost blood and raises the user's peak level by 30 for good. This is when Bai put on the set of Bloodthirsty Shadows. Besides that, he got the red killing blade. As Bai gets to the end, all of the Wigglytooth fusion beast breaks apart. Bai comes with the Bloodthirsty Shadow set, which was just added. The Wigglytooth fusion beast still comes after him, but Bai kills them all. Bai wasn't scared of the ghost. All of the Wigglytooth fusion beasts have now joined together. Behind Bai, the beasts howl together. Killing the Wigglytooth fusion beast was the hidden mission. As a reward, he would get 3 times as many soul points. Bai was ready for this moment, and he is now getting ready to kill the monster. He had been waiting for this mission, and now he turns on the red flame. After setting off the flame, Bai runs at the Wigglytooth fusion beast. He walks towards them and tells them that the real fight has just begun. There is an attack by Bai Chi on the Wigglytooth fusion beast that will defeat it. The beast even tries to attack Bai back, but Bai knows about it. Bai sticks the red blade into the monster and causes unbearable pain to the bone. The damage that Scarlet does will last for 15 seconds and will be shown by the system as flames exploding in the cut world. It will hurt all the way down to the bone. The Wigglytooth fusion beast screams because it is in so much pain. Bai checks to see if the monster is hurt, and then he eliminates it. Around the monster, several figures that look like Bai in the shadow suit show up. The system shows that the player can change into several shadow clones that will focus on the target and aren't hurt by any magic or physical attacks for 5 seconds. The shadow clones all attack the beast as it screams in discomfort. The beast can't fight back when Bai hits it with the flame. Finally, the system tells him that he's slain the beast and got twice as many soul points as before. It shows a quote that says a dim light is stronger than a fire in full flame. Bai's level goes up by 8. Bai believes that it is hard to level up in the Throne of Souls. During a live stream, Bai had once summed up the rules and values for getting soul points and leveling up. The system shows that Bai got 108 gold coins and a dirty crystal bottle for other achievements. Someone is on their knees and looks like they are praying. This is an attack prayer that you can say 3 times. It took Bai 30 tries to get the prayer right before he got it on the first try. Bai says the prayer is very helpful. It shows all of Bai's achievements and levels that he has reached. Bai presses the button that makes the character faster. He now checks out the other things that were made available. Bai sees more than one thing on the screen about the items that have been unlocked. A lot of them were food and ingredients. Bai is a little embarrassed because he has a lot of high-quality weapons and professional sets but hasn't unlocked enough of his inventory yet. He had, however, unlocked 2 very good sets. It has the Blood Armored Dragon set and the Dragon Spine Sword. Starry Sky Prophet also shows up and lights the way. Deep Space Beacon shows up. It's a great staff made of cosmic meteorites that are very bright. Bai thinks that the other unlocked items are enough to stay alive early on, even though they can't be used with the best sets. Bai doesn't go back to save Princess Mina and her group right away. He thinks about it for a while. He still thinks that the game makes it seem like being a lone wolf wouldn't be a problem. him. But there are now some things that aren't clear. Bai sees a river further down the river and asks many questions. He can't help but wonder if there are unknown factors that could change the original settings. It seems like a better idea for Bai to join Princess Mina's party before getting this information. Bai gets on his knees in front of Princess Mina. At first, the story says that they will become important backups and helpers in later stages as long as Bai chooses to save Princess Mina. It won't matter if they don't help Bai, he can protect himself on his own. After that, Bai starts to go down the cave. There are a lot of hanging figures in the cave. There look like fights going on in the main area. As Bai moves forward, he sees two scary things trying to hurt him. Bai shows how good he is by killing one of the monsters and piercing the other one. Bai keeps moving, and the main boss was the only battle left. Bai's level went up to 10, and the reputation system was made available. Another setting that wasn't in the original game, so Bai didn't know about the reputation system. It tells Bai that his desperate actions have turned Princess Mina's camp against him when he sees her on the screen. Bai knows how badly the Mina team swore at him behind his back. People on Mina's team talk about Bai. Princess Mina doesn't want to talk about small things and says that they were set up because they weren't good enough. As the team's leader, Princess Mina feels bad for the people who have to follow her. Two of them try to persuade the princess that she doesn't need to say sorry. All of a sudden, two blades cut through the rope they were hanging from. They all fall, and House is told to keep the princess safe. House lands on the ground behind the princess. They all land safely on the ground. House checks on the princess and is happy to hear that she is fine. The person who hit the ground hard was hurt and wanted to know who did it. Bai shows up and says it was just a way to get back at them for swearing at him behind his back. Everyone in Princess Mina's group gets lost and looks at Bai. They still don't know who it is, and Bai surprises them by taking off his mask. Bai tells them that the boss is coming in a minute and that they need to get ready right away. Bai is finally known by Princess Mina's team. Princess Mina's team doesn't trust Bai, but he cuts the princess free. However, the princess was grateful that Bai had helped them. Bai says that they couldn't say thank you at that time because there was an emergency coming up soon and they had to leave right away. Bai made Princess Mina's groups unhappy, and they didn't want to follow him. Bai knows that the way he talks affects Princess Mina and her group. Bai tells them that some of them won't even have a chance to win the fight with the boss. More and more things are said about Bai being on level 10. The princess then takes her things and tells her groups to stop talking and start fighting. Mina thinks there are a lot of questions, but she does not want any mistakes to happen. Now Princess Mina's whole team is getting ready for battle. It seems to Bai that Mina hasn't changed at all. Bai believes that Mina's guards' dislike of him is only because of things he did in the past. They can now work together, though, in the upcoming boss battle. There were only 10 seconds left, and Bai was also ready to fight. Bai throws the sword to start the fight. The system displays the specifics of the storm trap. There is lightning, and the first phase of the battle can finally begin. Bai tells Princess Mina and her team to wait 3 minutes and asks for more time. What Bai said made no sense to them. The boss appears out of nowhere and flies over to where everyone is waiting. The boss hits the ground. This is Madik, level 30, the leader of the Plague Beast clan. He asks Bai why she always wants to run away. The boss says that he will deal with Bai himself. Madik goes to pick up something but gets hit by the flow. It hurts him, and his life also gets a little worse. The people saw that Madik stepped on the storm trap that Bai had set. Bai got out of the trap to look for Madik. Bai tells them not to talk about it and tells them to kill the boss by firing at him. The boss is now the center of attention. The boss just sits there and laughs at everyone. Madik hits House first, and even though he tries to block, he still gets hurt. Things get worse between Madik and them, like a child playing with them. The boss is being hit with arrows. Madik doesn't have any luck. Madik thinks that by attacking him, they are making fun of him. Madik goes after the group's tools and breaks them down. Madik attacks someone else in the group, but they just barely get away. There is no stopping the team as they fight the Madik. While Princess Mina's team was there to fight, they talked about Bai running away. They had to stop talking about Bai, though, because they had to meet with the boss. The princess stands up for them and tells them to find a way to fight back. The boss keeps yelling at Princess Mina, saying that she might be the tastiest food ever. Minia shows how strong she is and tries to block the boss's attack. The boss's attack, on the other hand, hurt Mina badly. Madik feels pain in his back all of a sudden. Madik is hurt, and his life also gets worse. Madik didn't know who was there when he turned around, but it was Bai. Bai stabbed Madik and said he was just seasoning his head. The system now tells us about the acidic water in the Styx River. When Madik is stabbed in the back, he gets angry. The boss is now trying to hurt Bai. Bai flies over the boss, which shocked the Mina team. The poison from the water in the Styx River had been used to stab the boss. The acid really hurt the boss and made him less healthy. The boss is so mad that he feels terrible pain. Madik hits the ground hard and breaks it. Princess Mina's group thinks the boss is losing. They had a chance to beat the boss. The boss had not yet gone crazy, though. It blows up and changes into many dead bodies. The second part of the battle has begun. They get lost when a lot of bodies show up there. Bai tells his team to take care of the bodies while he watches over the boss. Bai's team doesn't think she can fight the boss by herself. Now Mina and her group have to deal with all the dead bodies that are coming at them. When Bai meets the boss face to face, the boss is shocked. The poison only lasts for 1 minute, and Mina will be fine as long as Bai doesn't die. That meant Bai had 1 minute to end the battle. The boss was ready for Bai to attack. Bai is now firing red Xian fire at them. After that, he beats the boss. Bai Chi continues to take down the boss, causing him to fall. However, the monster was not badly hurt, and he referred to Bai as a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. The boss claims that Chi's weakness is comparable to minced meat in the hands of a cook, and that he could have done anything. The monster grasps Chi's head and lifts him. Bai believes he must have died at least 30 times in the past. Bai's imagination was the source of everything that was going on. Suddenly, the monster charges towards Bai, intending to kill him. The monster attacks Bai, but he dodges and the axe falls to the ground. Bai realizes that Modic's attacks are quick and powerful. Chi's current health allowed him to withstand only 2 direct attacks from Modic. Bai's agility is crucial. Avoiding hits, he survives the final 2 minutes, using poison to deplete boss's health and potentially passing the 3rd phase. Modic points his axe at Bai, asking why he only dodges because he intends to kill him. The boss also mentions Bai's speed, which could indicate his confidence. Bai keeps dodging the boss's attacks. Princess Mina appears, and she is impressed by Bai's speed. Mina also says Bai is like a seasoned vet. The poison reduces Modic's health to half, which may not be sufficient. Modic arrives with his power and attempts to see if he can chop Bai down before the poison kills him. The 3rd phase of the battle officially begins. Modic appears in his blood dance state and attacks Bai. The attack hurts Bai slightly, but he stands still. Bai realizes that avoiding attacks during the 3rd phase is difficult. Bai did not move back with it because he was waiting for this phase. One of Princess Mina's team members decides to help Bai, who is injured. He tries to let Gray take care of the corpses, but she says she can't handle them all. Modic launches another attack, which may claim Bai's life. Modic attacks Bai, and the boss believes he vanished. Surprisingly, Bai possesses the Shadow Sting power, which surprises even the boss. The boss wonders how Bai can have teleportation ability. In the past, facing formidable bosses in games and instinctively avoiding their fierce attacks resulted in miserable deaths. Both the boss and Bai engage in close combat. In the 3rd phase, the boss's attack speed and defense weaken, allowing Shadow Sting to be used within a certain radius. The toxin on the boss's back causes him more pain, and Bai attacks him more frequently. The attack injures the boss, and he questions why Bai always stabs him in the back. Modic's life comes to an end. The boss's scream shocks Princess Mina's party as well. The boss launches another attack on Bai, shortening his life. It does not let Bai go, as he returns and continues to attack the boss. Multiple figures, including Bai, appear in front of the boss and attack him. The power appears to be thrusting while the actual Bai remains on the ground. The attack causes significant damage to the boss. However, it was sufficient for him because the pain inflicted by Bai was unbelievable. Modic returns to rolling his axe at Bai. Modic uses the blood-sucking rune, which can absorb blood from a controlled target's body to replenish its own health. The boss's armies also appear before him. Modic begins regenerating his health, and the screen displays some information. Nobody can believe the boss is regenerating his health. Bai was also surprised by the boss's blood-sucking ability. Bai believes he is about to die. The system displays the forbidden barrier. The boss was in the middle of Princess Mina's power, and he realized later. Princess Mina now approaches the boss to attack her. Mina also orders everyone to leave the corpses and concentrate on attacking the boss. The boss's regenerating health is interrupted by Mina, and he attacks the princess. Princess Mina's party simply observes the situation and becomes terrified. The boss's extreme attack on Princess Mina is blocked by Bai. Mina believes Bai was hurt, and she apologizes. Bai refuses to apologize, claiming that losing focus was entirely his fault. Surprisingly, Bai recovers his health. The boss is irritated by this and wishes to kill Bai. Both Princess Mina and Bai prepare for the battle again. The battle now appears to be over who dies. The boss believes Bai is dangerous because his blood smells strong. The boss appears to run away from the situation. Corpses couldn't believe that the boss was fleeing. All of the corpses lie on the ground, screaming. Princess Mina's party arrives and apologizes for being late. However, Mina claims that everyone survived their encounter with the boss. Bai runs, claiming that the crisis is not over. Princess Mina says it is not the time for other things, and they must flee the area. Bai goes on to explain that he has his own reasons. Bai went to the boss, and the shadow assassination formation attacked him. The boss is hurt, and his life is completely destroyed. Bai says they can't let the boss escape because it could lead to an uncontrollable situation. Princess Mina and her party gain 1 level each. Finally, Modic is defeated, earning the team 320 gold coins. Bai's level also rises by 2, reaching level 12. Bai and the others can now breathe a sigh of relief, having overcome the most difficult challenge. The system displays all of Bai Chi's obtained items, including the Blood Dance Fury Axe, Necromancy, and Blood-Sucking Mechanism. Princess Mina approaches Bai, talking about what he did for her by blocking the attack. Bai says Mina owes him 2 favors, but it's time to leave and discuss it later. Bai questions Mina's correct judgment. The word could be related to Reincarnator, and Bai needs to figure it out quickly. Bai Qi is surrounded by Princess Mina and her team, who thank him for saving them. One of them felt ashamed after saying various things to Bai. He apologizes to Bai and claims to be the true hero. The system now acknowledges Princess Mina's gratitude, which increases favorability for Bai's faction and results in an overall positive evaluation. Bai has questions about the rewards. He says that his favorability is currently high and that he wants to gather information. Bai claims he is not a hero, but rather a rekindler who everyone wants to get rid of. Bai notices that no one seems to care about his rekindler identity. Princess Mina recognizes Bai's distinct rekindler identity, but acknowledges that his status as a target puts her and her party in danger as well. Mina claims that she and her party must have a strong connection with rekindlers because they have previously been helped by others. Bai inquires about another powerful rekindler. Bai asks Mina for more information about another rekindler because he is new and wants to learn more. Princess says it's not appropriate to stay there and will discuss it as they go. Bai, Princess Mina, and her party leave the cave, but they must remain vigilant because other monsters may be present. They now begin to discuss other rekindlers. Rekindlers are people who have died and come back to life for unknown reasons, often with special abilities. Multiple rekindler figures appear. They were discovered following the first Fallen Star War. Rekindlers think and behave differently than ordinary people, but the majority are cruel and debauched. Some of them even break the rules and act as if they are outsiders in this world. Initially, various countries paid little attention to them until an ancient prophecy from hundreds of years ago emerged. A figure from an ancient prophecy appears. The prophecy states that the world will collapse, and only rekindlers will be able to restore and unify it. As a result, each country regards rekindlers as heretics and opposes the notion of outsiders reclaiming authority gained during the division. The rekindler who assisted Princess Mina and her party was vastly different. He was powerful but gentle and refined, without a wild and debauched aura. Mina realizes the person who helped her is very similar to Bai Qi. Princess now claims that meeting Bai is her entire fortune. While Princess Mina faces her own challenges, Bai's fate is likely to be even worse because of the world's hostility towards rekindlers. Mina turns around and throws a knife at Bai. The rekindler she mentioned gave Mina a dagger. Bai carefully examines the dagger. The system displays another detail of the watcher's obscure gaze. The dagger's damage rivals that of a crafted knife, and it can conceal the wearer's identity without the need for high-level equipment. Bai is surprised to hear it because he has never heard of such a dagger before. Mina claims that the dagger can conceal Bai's true identity as a rekindler while reducing unnecessary threats. Mina also reveals that it can help Bai locate the rekindler who gave the dagger. Princess Mina's party questions her about giving Bai the important dagger, and they try to object. However, Princess claims that it is her decision, made after careful consideration, and that they have no reason to object. Bai is now considering whether the dagger is beneficial for reputation improvement. Bai thanks Princess Mina for giving him the dagger. Bai advises Mina to remain kind and righteous as always, but Mina responds that she isn't meant to be king because of her goodness. Princess Mina, as the last bloodline of the Kingdom of Stars, should have lived a life of royalty that was revered by all. If Mina had become queen, everyone in the kingdom would have respected her, as shown in the image. A disaster struck when extraterrestrial invaders shattered the world's guardian into 8 fragments, throwing the world into chaos. The lifeless deep space expedition ship transported unknown genes that caused species mutations, resulting in global apocalyptic crises. Figures of unknown genes resembling monsters were shown. To protect the world, the Kingdom of Stars banded together under 8 lords to fight the mutant army in the first Fallen Star War. An image of the war was shown. Despite the Mana GED destroying much of the mutant army and depleting its resources, as well as the 8 lords' intentional negligence during the war, the Star Kingdom crumbled, and the 8 lords declared independence, each claiming a fragment of the World Stone. Although these events occurred a century ago, Princess Mina, as the last bloodline of the Kingdom of Stars, is still regarded as a throne. The 8 rebellious nations regard Mina as a living throne. But the more Mina is suppressed, the more determined she is to embark on the difficult journey of restoring the kingdom. The party is now positioned behind Princess Mina. One of the Mina's party members questions Bai about whether he killed the corpses before coming to save the party. He now claims that Bai has acquired some skills by refusing to become their adversary. When Mina's party member, who frequently discussed death, reached the cave exit, he felt relieved and grateful for his survival. Princess Mina also suggests that everyone hurry out of the cave. When Mina reached the exit, she felt uneasy in the light from outside the cave. Bai and everyone have now escaped the cave to enjoy the breathtaking view. Princess Mina is pleased to be outside because she has not seen warm sunlight in a long time. She describes the feeling of regaining freedom as truly amazing. Mina's party is also pleased with their newfound freedom after so much pain. Princess Mina turns to Bai Qi and expresses her gratitude once more. Bai claims it's nothing, and the dagger she gave him is sufficient as a favor. Bai also inquires about their next plan. Bai, on the other hand, knows what to do next. He believes it is best to ask them if anything has changed. Mina mentions that they had one task to complete, and Bai is curious about it. Gray believes it is critical, while House advises not to hide anything from Bai. Mina also claims that House is correct in that there is nothing to hide from Qi. They begin by thereby claiming that they originally hired a capable group of mercenaries who betrayed them halfway through, leaving them in a dangerous situation. Those mercenaries even stole something important from Mina, which she now must retrieve. It was a star core, a necklace made from the core of the Shattered World Stone, representing the royal bloodline of the Kingdom Stars. The star core is a valuable special item in the game. Mina blames everything on her weakness and naivety, which led her to believe their lies. One member of her party claims it has nothing to do with her because they failed to protect her. Others claim that their weakness is the sole reason for it. Mina must find them and chase them to the end of the world, no matter how long it takes. Bai claims there is no need to go that far, and it will not take long. Bai questions whether they will believe him when he says he knows where these people are. Everyone gets confused about that. Everyone starts asking Bai questions about the person Princess Mina now wants to meet. While her teammates question Bai, Mina remains silent. Bai claims he is not lying or joking and asks if he has ever deceived them from the start. To that question, everyone agrees. Nonetheless, they are all perplexed by Bai's statements. Princess Mina also admits that they continue to doubt Bai, which she regrets. Mina is now breathing a sigh of relief, but she had already braced herself for the worst. Bai now says not to worry, but he can't explain why. But he knows where the mercenary group is. Bai asks Mina to follow him. Finally, Mina believes in Bai. Someone screams from the top, warning people not to get physical when talking to a lady. Another says not to interfere because the princess hasn't said anything. The system now displays the details of a burnt jungle caused by the underground fire. The fire hasn't completely destroyed life. Instead, it has preserved a relatively balanced ecosystem. If you don't like the cold and damp northern regions, this warm place is an alternative settlement option, but be careful of red fire spiders. Suddenly, several creatures appear, screaming. It appears that a lizard is hunted and then burned to be eaten by the people who live there. As a result, many people are shocked and claim that the location is not suitable for humans. Finally, a mercenary group called Righteous Alliance, which has nearly 30 members, is introduced. They believe that the upcoming issue is insignificant because they have already faced major challenges. They were also discussing a woman whom they described as foolish. They claimed the woman was easily deceived and revealed her real identity. 3 members of the mercenary group, Marshall, Kara, and Yuri, are conversing while eating the lizard. Marshall wants to know why they are living in the burned-out jungle, and Kara wants to know as well, despite the boss's claim that he has his own arrangements. Yuri, the deputy commander, inquires with the boss about their stay there because she dislikes the heat. The boss, named Hades, finally appears and looks at his employees. Marshall and Kara turn around, and they see the boss. Hades keeps staring at the necklace he has in his hand as they talk about it. The boss approaches them and explains that the reason for his guarding for so many days was to prevent any accidents. Hades inquires as to what might happen if the woman escapes the Wailing Cave. Hades says he has begun to regret not killing directly. Marshall believes that the boss is overly cautious, and that everyone in the Wailing Cave cannot survive due to their abilities. Kara says the same thing, believing that everyone has already died. Yuri also discusses what the woman did that led her to the cave. Princess Mina appears, questioning why they betrayed her after she trusted them. For the clan, justice and evil are not mutually exclusive. It all depends on the reward and their flexible judging criteria. The boss holds Princess Mina's mouth and talks about betrayal, claiming that it was a help to her. The boss asks Mina if she wants to help restore her country and offers their assistance in exchange for the necklace and her consent to become his woman. Mina says that if she falls onto his hand, he can do whatever he wants. Regardless of whether she dies, Princess Mina refuses to give the boss the necklace. According to the boss, Mina is a stubborn woman. The boss then blackmails Mina about her party while appearing to murder them. Mina's party also appears to be preparing for battle. The boss asks the princess if she can witness her party being slaughtered in front of her. Princess Mina becomes enraged and concerned following the boss statement. The boss says that stupid people do not deserve this world and invites them to visit the nearby Anka village. Marshall inquires whether they are leaving the area and admits that he is tired of all the women in her group. He then lifts the lady onto his shoulder while she screams. Someone in the group mentions Marshall taking away the lady. He then asks the boss about the necklace and suggests that he sell it in a nearby country. He claims that all 8 countries are targeting women because of their necklace. So, if they sell the necklace, they won't have to worry about anything, but if they mishandle it, they could have problems. In agreement with his employee's suggestion, the boss throws a knife to the ground. Nobody imagined that a simple escort mission could be so profitable. The boss says it must be sold, and the closest country is Ilena Duchy. The boss speaks about the country, claiming that everyone there is poor, so it's better to sell it to the Hades earldom, who have more money. However, he learned that the Hades and Wembak were fighting on a small scale over a border issue. The screen now displays information about Hades earldom, also known as Ilena Duchy and Wembak earldom. The boss discusses the influence of the necklace. He claims that even in a chaotic world, it remains constant, and the gem is said to be inherited by a royal orphan. It can also be argued that the value of this gem outweighs the total benefits of all wars tenfold. After hearing it, the individual decides to keep it for themselves and use it to establish their own country. However, after a few days of study, he concludes that it is simply an ordinary gem and cannot feel its power. The boss advises that if one wants to live, it is best not to covet power that one can exercise. The boss insists that they are not like the suffering cult's fanatics, who use their own flesh and blood in exchange for power. In their limited lives, earning money and living happily is more important than anything else. He now asks the boss how he knew all of these secrets. The boss then says that's something he doesn't need to know and tells everyone to prepare for a big move in Anka village. The boss notices his team members lying on the ground. Princess Mina is now discussing the boss levels and numbers, as well as how to get the necklace back. Princess Mina's party considers making a move in such a disadvantageous situation. Bai claims they don't have time to wait until nightfall, and they still have 3 hours left. When they learn about the dead bodies during the patrol, the entire camp will be on high alert. Princess Mina claims that dealing with the boss is difficult because he is both skilled at acting and sharp. Bai says there is still a chance. Princess Mina's party receives alerts and inquires about Bai's other plans. Bai claims their biggest disadvantage is the number, but he has a solution to compensate for the difference in quantity. A red fire spider nest can be found deep in the burned jungle. Despite the low levels, their numbers are impressive. Bai says he'll start by going to the monster's nest. While ensuring your own safety, try to attract as many monsters as possible. After that, lure them to the mercenaries' location and redirect the monsters' aggro to the mercs. No matter how many common monsters exist, it is difficult to reduce their numbers. After all, their levels are not particularly low. The most common monsters simply cause chaos in unexpected ways. The plan's success is dependent on Bai's ability to lure the red spider's boss to the mercenaries' camp. Nobody understands, and a large spider appears. The spider is introduced as a red fire widow who is the area boss at level 30. One person asks Bai if he intends to lure the boss alone. Mina's party believes Bai's plan is interesting, but it is not easy. Also, the princess and the cat can only cast invisibility spells. Princess Mina discusses her invisibility, stating that she can only be used individually and not in groups. When the princess and Xiao Miao become invisible, the monster's hatred will turn on House and Glay, which is extremely dangerous. One person assures the group not to worry about the current situation, confident that he can handle it and retrieve the necklace. Another member, Cat, dismisses the concept of invisibility, preferring to address the issue directly. Bai assures them that if they stick to the plan, no one will die. Then they receive items that spark. The system displays the details of the items named Shadow of Solitude. Other items include Whispers of the Divine and Frost Grenades. Everyone was surprised and shocked when Bai handed them all of those items. Bai claims that he unlocked the deep space items through hard work. At this point, it doesn't matter how he got those items because the most important thing is their plan. Princess Mina was also impressed when Bai handed over all of those items, which even the kings of the 8 countries couldn't do. She claims that deep space original artifacts are extremely rare and are only used by royalty. The Deep Space Observer Academy's replications of deep space items have become commonplace, but their flaws highlight the importance of the originals. Even among the 8 countries, there is a religious cult dedicated to worshipping the original deep space artifacts, which has attracted a number of nobles. The Deep Space Observer Academy is an independent research institute separate from the 8 countries. They turn the results of reverse engineering into military power and sell it to the highest bidders. According to reports, their research findings have accelerated technological progress while increasing human violence. Original deep space artifacts are highly sought after on the black market and can command exorbitant prices. Bai questioned Princess about using ancestral items to buy mercenaries on the black market, only to lose all of her money and the ancestral necklace. Princess Mina is surprised and wonders how Bai knew. Bai claims that he only made a guess and knows everything about her. Bai says not to worry because everything will be restored, and he made a promise. Mina appears scared, but Bai's words reassure her. The main quest, which involves assisting Princess Mina in retrieving the star core, has been updated, according to the system. Bai now inquires about how to obtain more new account unlocking rewards. The system then displays the options, which include completing specific tasks, defeating regressors, and accumulating soul points for redemption. Bai now believes that the paths are not difficult, and he will begin collecting more points after assisting Princess Mina in retrieving the star core. According to Bai, there is only one uncertain factor in the current plan that must be verified through combat. Everyone must now be prepared, as a spider monster's net lies ahead. Bai, Princess Mina, and the party are now preparing for their plan. Ahead of them was a red fire nest. The gang encounters a level 5 red fire spider hatchling. Everyone is now killing the spiders by stepping into them. They started enjoying the sensation of stepping on those spiders. The gang thought it was a stress-relieving activity. Princess Mina was focused on destroying spider eggs and instructed her party to follow Bai's plan. After that, everyone begins chopping the spider eggs, but one of them continues to question Bai's prediction. While the tiger tells him to do the right thing and trust Bai completely. Level 18 A mature red fire spider appears behind them. Everyone was discussing Bai's plan, plans, but they were unaware of adult red fire spiders. Another large spider appears, ordering spiders to howl. The large spider was a red fire widow at level 30. Bai asks the large spider if she can feel her eggs being destroyed. So Bai assumed Princess Mina and the party had successfully completed the first step of the plan. Bai gets ready, and he must do his part. Red fire widow becomes enraged and asks if Bai is challenging her. Bai turns around and inquires as to the reason. Red fire widow challenges her opponent to defeat her and promises to reveal her abilities. The red fire widow transforms into a lady entwined with a spider web in the tree. She claims that Bai is not an ordinary person. The lady approaches Bai and holds him, inviting him to join her in lovemaking to have children after her eggs have been destroyed. Bai becomes perplexed about the lovemaking question. Bai wonders if she meant injecting neurotoxins, resulting in euphoric consumption. Bai claims he has no interest in being her breeding farm. Bai's response has made the lady spider angry. She transforms back into the red fire widow. She claims that Bai chose the difficult way to die rather than the easy way. The spider then throws her toxins at Bai. Bai turns around and tries to get away from the attack, aware that the spider is angry. Bai flees, emphasizing that luring the boss away from its territory is the ultimate victory. However, the boss was above Bai, which confused him. She then throws the web, trapping Bai. In the game, the boss refuses to leave its territory regardless of the provocation. As Bai flees, the red fire widow considers his departure, sensing her dominance. Bai comes to a halt as he leads the red fire widow to the edge, hoping that she will now behave differently. The red fire widow claims that she is not interested in weak males. Bai considers a different approach to luring her. He then asks if she was looking for the reason, and he tries to admit it. Bai claims that his captain sent him to harvest her silk in order to obtain high-quality equipment. He insists that there are 30 men in the camp, and he is not afraid of her. Red fire widow was taken aback when she heard 30 robust males. The spider becomes excited, thinking that if she takes 30 males, she will have a large number of children. The spider also warns him to take her there or she will kill him. Bai recognizes that the game setting resembles the original but is not entirely accurate. Bai uses game knowledge and creativity to accomplish previously impossible tasks. So, Bai believes it is the true way to play in this world as it becomes more exciting. Princess Mina and her party were thrilled with the plan made by Bai Qi. They run towards the mercenary camp and are chased by many red fire spiders. Princess Mina says they must get close to the camp's edge and go invisible to transfer the spiders' aggro to mercenaries. For success, divide into 4 groups, encircling the mercenary camp completely, denying them any escape. The work they were doing would have been impossible, but with Bai's items, it's achievable. Princess Mina says they have to work in perfect harmony and they can't waste Bai's top-notch items. As the group reaches the camp, they disperse in different directions to surround the camp. 2 people from the mercenary camp were laid on the ground. The boss says the injury wasn't caused by the beast, as he says that someone slit their throats with a sharp dagger. They don't know who did it but assume that it may have been done by the group of Princess Mina. The boss thinks that no one in the group has the level of weaponry and clean execution, but if not them, who could it be? Another person from the camp goes to the captain saying that their camp was invaded. They mention swarms of spider monsters surrounding them, but he managed to escape while on patrol. He goes on to say that he saw a glimpse of the woman but she disappeared. The captain is shocked by the news and can't believe that the woman escaped from the cave. The whole mercenary camp gets attacked from all sides and the people there try to escape. However, there was no way to escape as the spiders surrounded them from every side. The main spider goes on attacking the captain. The monster spider grabs the captain. Other members, Maxell, Kara, and Yuri also get attacked by the spiders, but they try to fight the main one who grabbed the captain. All of them were unaware of why the spiders were attacking them. The team seeks help from their boss, who's been captured by the spider. The captain manages to escape from the trap of the spider. The team urges to fight the spiders, but the boss insists they take the money and flee, realizing they've been set up at the camp. One of them asks about other people on the camp, but the boss says they are meant to take hits in the critical moment. After that, they run away and try to escape the camp. However, in front of them, the main spider, a Red Widow boss, arrives. All of their money gets disrupted. The Red Widow boss thinks that Bai is true as she sees many strong men with whom she can have many eggs. The Red Widow boss starts wrapping people into her web. She also starts throwing toxins at them. The captain tries to tackle the toxin, but the Red Widow boss recognizes the captain whom Bai was talking about. Bai had lied about the things done by the captain. The captain was confused about what the Red Widow boss was saying about the kid. The captain makes multiple assumptions about the kid and also thinks if he is in the team of Princess Mina. He couldn't believe that the powerful kid was in her team. Yuri goes on asking for help from the captain. Yuri does not want to die. So, the captain holds his hand. Yuri's life was decreased, but when was held by the captain, he was thankful for not being abandoned. Surprisingly, the captain throws Yuri towards towards the Red Widow boss. The captain insists on assessing others' abilities before fighting, opting to run instead. All of them are dealing with the spider while the captain thinks that he can escape alone. Other people in the group were shocked as the boss was leaving them. The captain realizes that his painstakingly built team was destroyed, which frustrated him. Still, he has the most important thing, which is the necklace, and with that, he can make a comeback. After escaping, the captain goes to see Princess Mina. The captain recognizes the princess and thinks that everything that was going on was done by her. He decides to attack her. When the captain makes his move, the princess is using deep space artifact. The captain was shocked by it and couldn't believe how would the princess have such a top-tier artifact. As the captain looks on, Bai suddenly appears behind, holding a knife to his neck, citing things beyond his understanding. The captain is unaware of Bai and turns around trying to attack him. The captain then realizes that Bai was the person who was making all these plans. The captain underestimates Bai, thinking he's just a weak level 10 assassin. The captain then goes to attack by asking if he can deal with it. Bai shows his speed ability and dodges the attack. Shocked by Bai's speed and agility, the captain questions if he's truly only level 10. Bai questions why all the plans were made if they were going to go head-to-head anyway. Bai prepares for battle, eager to test who can last longer. The captain and Bai meet face to face. The captain accuses Bai of betrayal, but Bai responds that the captain's elemental rangers are immune. Bai warns that reckless attacks will only make him vulnerable. The captain is taken aback by Bai's words, realizing he overestimated him, making him appear pathetic. He now attacks Bai, leading him to a painful death. To compensate for his regret, however, Bai avoids it as the captain reminds him of a stealth assassin. Bai flips again, but the captain does not attack. Bai prepares to deal with the captain. Bai discusses his battle experiences, stating that skill is the determining factor in success. So Bai turns around to attack the captain. The attacks cause minor damage to the captain. Despite the captain's combo attack, Bai countered effectively, surprising him with battle experience that exceeded his expectations. However, their skills do not match. The captain explains his levels, which include a base level of 10 and a peak level of 30, with the peak level affecting only attributes rather than skills. His class skills are at level 10, but he has a full elemental ranger level 30 advanced skill that augments attacks and defenses with elemental forces. The captain claims that Bai has some skills, but that is where it ends, and he continues to attack Bai. He goes on to say that he will first kill Bai, and then the woman, Princess Mina. The captain attacks Bai, shortening his life. Despite this, Bai remains hopeful that he has a way to bring down the captain. After hearing it, the captain laughs and inquires about his plan. Bai says something surprising, claiming that he will take him down by cheating. The system displays details about the class crest. Bai uses shadow assassination and level 50 skills to defeat the captain. Bai instills it in himself and initiates shadow assassination. The shadow assassination formation uses a blade to cut through spatial rifts, summoning shadow demons from the shadow realm to assist in combat. The captain continues to laugh at Bai's skill, but he wants to kill him and put an end to everything. They attack each other simultaneously. The clash generates a massive spark. The captain was injured and fell to the ground. The captain couldn't believe it and assumed it was an illusion. Bai continues to use the skill as the captain realizes he will die if he does not escape. The captain tries to flee as many large hands wielding Bai's skills grab him. Those hands drag him down, crushing him into the ground. Bai approaches the captain, and he is accompanied by a figure who assists him. The captain, lying on the ground, wonders why Bai didn't use those abilities sooner. He also questions whether he was pretending to be weak in order to crush the captain at the end. The captain then says he doesn't have to do anything with Bai, but why did he go so far? Bai connects with his past and informs the captain that, while he is intelligent, his cleverness has led him astray. The captain becomes scared and attempts to give the necklace to Bai, which was his goal. Bai then goes to extremes, claiming that he wants the captain's life as well as the necklace. Bai then launches multiple attacks. The attack generates a huge amount of smoke in the area. The captain wonders why Bai didn't simply kill him instead of torturing him. The captain was in severe pain, and his life was miserable. Bai takes the necklace and explains that if the captain had been his enemy, he would have killed him, but he spared him because he had made a promise to someone. When Bai takes the necklace, the side quest is complete. Following that, Bai earned 8,000 soul points and 3 account unlock points. He then hands over the necklace to Princess Mina, leaving the rest to her. If Mina has any questions, Bai advises her to ask them quickly. Princess Mina then approaches the captain and asks why he didn't kill them directly but instead threw them into the cave. The captain claims that he simply wanted Princess Mina to die painfully. He also admits that he regrets not killing her from the start and now accepts his fate. Bai claims that the captain remains stubborn even as he approaches death. Bai claims he didn't kill the captain because he was gambling with the princess' luck. If Bai had not saved the princess, she would have escaped, and he would have fully pledged his allegiance to her in order to reclaim her kingdom. Bai is only concerned with his own interests. The well-being of others is not important to him. The captain claims that Bai's fate is far worse because he is against the entire world. The captain is attacked again, but he is pulled by the Red Widow boss. The captain says he would rather be sucked dry than die in Bai's hands, and he is caught in the web. The Red Widow boss appears before Bai, Princess Mina, and their gang, announcing that she has found him. The Red Widow boss now tries to pick on Bai after the camp he led was cleared out. The Red Widow boss says that if she takes Bai to the nest, she can enjoy him in her spare time. Bai then tells everyone on his team to back off because he is going to handle the boss. He stated that his only class crest was nearly depleted, with less than a minute to complete it. Princess Mina and the party tell Bai that they cannot let him fight alone because he has done so much for the team. They want Bai to assist in the battle against the boss. The Red Widow boss becomes aggressive and threatens to kidnap and kill Bai. The Red Widow boss prepares to deal with the entire team and approaches them. One of the team members suggests that we roar loudly. As a result, the Red Widow boss notices it and questions who dares to do it. A large foot appears and steps on the Red Widow boss. Bai was also taken aback by it and realized it was an ancient dragon. A large ancient screams behind the Red Widow boss. Everyone is put off by the roaring sound. Bai can't believe the dragon was present. The dragon then attacks the Red Widow boss aggressively. Princess Mina's entire team is also shocked. They now ask Bai if they should flee or confront the dragon. Bai instructs everyone to stand still and not make any sudden movements. Bai now has to find another solution quickly. The Red Widow boss instructs the dragon to leave or she will drain her. The dragon retreats away from the boss, who interprets it as fear. Suddenly, the dragon consumes the boss and curses him to death. In the game, wild animals recognize race, disregarding levels and racial differences and displaying pure aggression. However, the delay caused by the red fire spider allowed Bai to calm down and recall information about the dragon. Bai believes the black dragon's original name should have been Guardian Dragon Daijin Black. Originally, one of 3 dragons guarding the world's soul, a powerful male black dragon and 2 red and blue female dragons, all legendary creatures. After the world's soul was shattered and the kingdom fell, Daijin Black was last seen in the first Falling Star War before disappearing without a trace. Bai is familiar with the location and has faced this hidden boss numerous times since reaching the maximum level. Encountering it now results in certain death. The black dragon now makes a move, and everyone believes it is about to breathe fire, which could kill them. However, Bai tells the dragon not to kill them because they are not its enemies. The black dragon appears confused, which causes it to stop breathing fire. Princess Mina's team is surprised by what Bai said, which caused the dragon to breathe fire. Princess Mina claims Bai spoke dragon language. It also surprises the black dragon, who asks Bai how he knows the dragon language. Bai claims to understand not only the dragon language, but also its noble and hidden identity as a devoted guardian. The system indicates that Bai used the Dragon Whisper book. The system also provides information about Dragon Whisper and the skill book. Bai uses those languages to greet and offer the dragon in an impressive manner. Bai's words surprise the dragon. The dragon questions Bai about how he knew all of their identities and orders him to reveal his own or be killed. The dragon warns Bai that he will not be deceived by words and declares eternal distrust of humans. Bai goes silent and wonders if the dragon's wound is still fresh. In the original game, Daijin Black did not harm humans. Bai considers whether recent events are related to the regressor. The dragon shouts at Bai, telling him to speak or die. Bai asks the dragon not to be angry and says he would never deceive him. Bai reveals that he is the last descendant of Starshine royalty and has a strong bond with the dragon. Bai then introduces the dragon to Princess Mina, claiming that she is the last bloodline of the Starshine royalty. Princess Mina is worried and afraid on the inside, but she maintains a cheerful and calm demeanor to keep the situation under control. Bai discusses the contract under which the dragon must protect the princess. The dragon believes Bai is threatening him, but Bai clarifies that he protects the world's soul, maintains balance, and does not tend to humans. The dragon dismisses the contract with the Starshine royalty as mere amusement, resulting in the kingdom's downfall. The dragon questions Bai's claim to be the last royalty as he summons someone from nowhere. The dragon becomes enraged and declares that he has lost patience, but he decides to give Bai one last chance. He had a chance to prove it or die. Bai Qi begins to discuss the necklace as the dragon requests proof of what he is saying. He claims that the core star can only be possessed by members of the royal family. The dragon expresses his rage and asks if this is sufficient proof. With rage, the dragon exhales fire from his mouth, striking Princess Mina. Bai was also present to grab the princess and save her. The dragon becomes angry and continues to breathe fire. The dragon warns that any mortal who touches the revered star core will perish, without exception. Bai claims that the dragon attacked before he finished and that the dragon violated the rules and regulations. Bai goes on to say that the dragon has lost all dignity as a guardian and has descended into darkness. Bai believes that even if his life was saved, he squandered 2 valuable deep space resources. The dragon warned that whatever it saw during the Starfall War could only take its breath once. It wouldn't survive a second encounter. Bai considers unlocking a new account but doubts his chances. He understands that rare items are required to face an ancient dragon, even if he only has access to 25% of the library again. Bai believes the Blood Dragon set and Dragon Bone sword he previously unlocked thought can save him. However, he lacked the strength to use them. He considers the best solution. Bai approaches Princess Mina and reveals his final method for breaking the deadlock. Bai knows it will cause her great harm and pain. Princess Mina tells Bai she's willing to go through any pain to ensure their survival. Bai prepares, explaining that while the method will ensure their survival, it will also burden the princess. He gently lowers her, preparing to proceed. The member of Princess Mina inquires about Bai's next move. Bai then states that he must not tell the princess a single word. He then inquires about Bai's next move. Suddenly, Bai attacks the princess with the knife. Bai stabs the princess between her breasts. He promises to use the most precise method to relieve her pain. Bai does not insert the knife deeply into the princess' body. He then takes out his knife. After removing the bloodied knife from the princess, he attempts to stab it into her necklace. The dragon then uses fire to kill him. The dragon continues to throw fire from his mouth. Suddenly, a figure appears, which shocks the dragon because he will never forget that person. The figure was then introduced as the first king of the Starshine Kingdom, Minitalist Starshine. Despite the fact that Minitalist Starshine has been dead for centuries, the dragon is terrified by his sudden appearance. The dragon believes it must be an illusion. Bai lifts the princess, challenging the dragon to a fight to see if it is an illusion. Despite this, the dragon dares to fight and confront the situation. He continues to attack by throwing fire. The dragon continues to breathe fire in order to destroy Minitalist Starshine. The dragon becomes enraged and claims Bai should not have used the Minitalist image to provoke him. The Minitalist Starshine then asks if the dragon still believes it's an illusion. The Minitalist Starshine's words take the dragon by surprise. The Minitalist Starshine then approaches the dragon, showing his face. Following that, the Minitalist Starshine attempts to demonstrate his power. He wonders if the dragon still believes it's an illusion. Minitalist Starshine's sudden movement startles the dragon, who slams his legs into the ground. The dragon is taken aback and realizes that this is not an illusion. The dragon claims to have witnessed Minitalist Starshine's death firsthand. The dragon was astounded by the heaven-defying power hidden within the star core. Minitalist Starshine then proceeds to attack the dragon, which he cannot believe. Minitalist then slams his sword into the dragon's head, shortening his life. The dragon believes Princess Mina is a descendant of Minitalist. Enraged, the dragon declares that it has failed to kill her before and will now target her descendant. The Minitalist Starshine then displays power in front of the dragon, prompting him to wonder if Starshine is using parry. When hit, use a shield to deflect and stun the opponent, allowing you to launch a stronger next attack. Princess Mina's party is taken aback by the Minitalist Starshine's abilities. Bai recognizes the first king's power but wants to end the battle before his fatal flaw is revealed. The Minitalist Starshine makes another move that scares the dragon. After a century, the dragon still wonders why the Minitalist wielded so much power. The Minitalist sword approaches, causing the dragon's heart to tremble and reviving long-forgotten memories. The dragon was recalling memories from when he first met the Minitalist. The dragon calls the Minitalist a recluse and encourages them to leave their cave and join forces. The Minitalist introduces himself as the human king and invites the dragon to collaborate in protecting the world. Minitalist's claim to be a human surprises the dragon. The dragon attempts to attack the Minitalist as he jumps with the sword. Despite being only 100 years old and coming of age, the dragon never imagined being pushed to the brink of death by a simple human. The dragon refuses to obey humans and tells the Minitalist he can do whatever he wants. The Minitalist then prepares to make his move. The Minitalist goes on to fulfill the dragon's wish and attacks him. The Minitalist insists that the dragon bear the pain of being torn apart. The Minitalist challenges the dragon's fear of death and provides one last chance. The Minitalist recognizes the dragon's resentment but suggests they work together until the dragon feels strong enough to challenge him to a battle to the death. The Minitalist's words cause the dragon to become silent. Despite being outmatched, the dragon is confident in its longevity and eventual ability to defeat the human. A large castle appears from which the dragon will carry the Minitalist on his back and fly away. People in that area also praise the Minitalist. Minitalist died before the dragon could strike during the First Starfall War. After that, the dragon regained his freedom, but he was unable to kill the Minitalist on his own, which became his biggest regret. The dragon believes that even after 100 years, he will be unable to shake his shadow. Minitalist then shoves his sword into the ground, causing a massive clash. It also causes cracks in the land where the dragon was living. It shocked the dragon. Because of this, the dragon is still intimidated by Minitalist power. The Minitalist's actions enrage and frighten the dragon. Memories of weakness return, along with the haunting sensation of being pursued even after death. The dragon wonders if the Minitalist is using the same tactics to subdue his descendant. The dragon becomes enraged and declares that he will no longer bow down to anyone. The dragon then begins throwing fire. He continues to throw fire, claiming that no one can stop him. The dragon rages furiously, spewing fire as it speaks. Princess Mina's party also witnesses the dragon fleeing the scene. One of them then asks why Bai did not kill the dragon. Bai concludes that scaring away the first king was the best option because the time to summon him had passed. The black dragon's mental state is still unstable due to its incomplete recovery from the First Starfall War. Given the princess' current level, the summoned first king would have been unable to defeat the black dragon for long. The system shows that player Zeki has defeated numerous foes and accumulated 40,000 soul points. The items obtained include an ancient treasure chest covered in saliva. Daegu and Glai also level up, but Daegu reports that he is not feeling well. Glai suggests that seeing such enormous power firsthand may make one feel insignificant. Princess Mina was on the ground, and her companions were concerned about her health. Bai then claims that Mina's body is fine, but she is mentally exhausted and will take at least 10 days to wake up. The star core contains incomprehensible power, which is activated by the royal bloodline's hard blood. Bai insists on keeping everything a secret in order to ensure Mina's safety and prevent her from taking any further risks. Bai then apologizes to the princess, explaining that he must do whatever it takes to survive. Such a person deserves Bai's unwavering loyalty. Bai then says it is time to leave the forest. Before they leave, they must examine the treasure chest contents. They believe that the treasure chest contains various valuable items. However, they flee when they learn of the possibility of enormous wealth and instant death. Bai concludes that the chest might be a trap. It never appeared in the original game, but he's curious what's inside. It remains a mystery, and the story concludes here.
If you like this story, then you might also like the next story where MC can automatically max skills. Check it out.